y'all can S-double-E. Cause I need your eyes on me. Once I get my feet in this end zone, no one can S-T-O-P. Can I make a scene like a movie? Feeling big, keep it juicy before we start getting unruly. I've been hooping like a hoolie, keep it coolie before I stuff you in a locker like a bully. Like a bully. Put in the work, you can see my fingernail dirt. I'm the last one to leave, even when I come first.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Las Vegas, Nevada. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Denver Broncos and the Las Vegas Raiders. 2 one-loss teams set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. They'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
So following the run by Gordon, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it up the middle now. Gordon. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. That's out to the flat for Gordon. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Touchdown! Melvin Gordon, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Broncos are on the board first here in Vegas. Extra point from McManus is good. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And he'll be taken down at the 18. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
2nd down, Jacobs once more. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll set up a throw. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Jason Pierre-Paul in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. K.J. Hamler deep for the Broncos. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. The first carry now. This is Williams. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. Play action. Now Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Well, that's absolutely going to fire this defense up. They made it their mission to deny that completion, and they came through with a nice hit and knocked it incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Wilson. Forced out to his left. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. On 4th down, Sam Martin is on to punt for the Broncos. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Just 21 yards on the punt there. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion, guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. Second down, Jacobs once more. He takes this for 3 to the 29. A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll be 4th down.
4th and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the first quarter.
On your own side of the field.
Own side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
They'll run for it. This is White. And this is going to be a Raiders first down as he's able to get this up to the 37-yard line. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Now this offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. Now they trail, but they've got a 1st and 10 here. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He'll buy some time right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. He's got a man, complete. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. Jacobs going to try the middle. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2. The Raiders had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener. And listen, they knew last week they were in for a tough fight on the road. But now here's the home opener and a chance to get things right.
And I like the way that you presented that, because the bottom line is they didn't come out of that loss discouraged. They just came home and said, hey, if we do what we're supposed to do, protect our home turf, we'll be just fine.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got Fuller. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Fourth down, and on comes the Raider kicker, Daniel Carlson. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. The kick by Carlson is good, and they are on the board, but still trailing in 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. They fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Wilson. Throw to the right here to Gordon. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
Defensively, they came into the game with the understanding they're going to have to slow him down on passes just like this because he was over 100 yards receiving a week ago. And you know they want to get him involved here as well.
Now Gordon on 1st down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. From just shy of midfield, Wilson to Gordon out left. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. On 3rd down, Wilson. That's complete to John Ross. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 35. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. A reminder coming up at halftime. We'll head to our ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to the ground now with Gordon. 10-yard line. 60 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. He had his eyes on the end zone once he hit the secondary, but they're finally able to slow him down.
Yeah, and I've got to look at this one from the defensive point of view. You just mentioned finally able to slow him down. They've got to figure out a way to make that at the point of attack, at the line of scrimmage, because once he gets through, he's shredding them.
They go back to Gordon here on 1st down. And this time they were ready for him as he's taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Here's Wilson to throw. Sets up the screen to Gordon. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down. Here's Wilson. Delivering again to Gordon, and he's got him again. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. 4th down, Wilson trots off, and on comes Brandon McManus for the Denver field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. The kick by McManus is good, and they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the 2 teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And with just under a minute to go, they might try to think about mounting a drive here if they can and get in the end zone. Could potentially tie this game up. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Well, they sent him on the blitz from that linebacker spot, and boy, he got there quickly.
He certainly did, and obviously he could have used a block from his running back, but I think you nailed it right there. The defender got into the backfield so fast, it's hard for anyone to react.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
He'll look to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's not going to sniff the 1st down here. He stopped at the 25. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this 1st half. .44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And returning it, here's Hamler. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And we'll see how much they want to push things, leading already here 10-3. They go play action with Wilson. He's got his tight end. It's Albert Okwuegbunam. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Play action. It's Wilson. Trying to lay one up deep. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Albert Okwuegbunam in the final seconds of the 1st half. And the Broncos will extend their lead here just before halftime. And just before the half ends, the prayer is answered. Defensively, a disaster there.
I know often we're surprised when this actually works. I mean, the excitement level goes way up, but maybe we shouldn't be, because I know as a defender, you've got to play the ball in this situation, but you can't interfere with the receiver because, remember, it's a spot foul, and it'd be 1st and goal if it happens in the end zone, and you don't want to give up that play. And that little bit of hesitancy often works really well for offensive guys.
So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game, as we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports halftime report. Coach? The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this 3rd quarter of action. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they've got some time. The running game struggled in the 1st half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Now back to throw. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up third.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Looking to throw. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up fourth.
There's another example where defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They gave up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a fourth down.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. Fair catch called for and made, but now we'll have to see about the penalty.
And a penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Throwing is Wilson. Buying time to his left.
He'll get that complete to Albert O.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 23 yards, the final tally. They'll bring a tight end in motion left. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Flush to his right. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it.
And the Raiders are going to take possession of
outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
A quick throw out wide to Fuller.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons.
And the Broncos are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line.
The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
He'll start on the ground. This is Gordon on 1st down. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20.
71 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, throw on 1st down with Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Gordon. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. Things looking much rosier for him here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10. Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now Wilson. Finding Williams on the check down. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. They go play action now. Wilson rolling to his left. Got a man. It's Ross. Complete. Touchdown Broncos. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Broncos will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And no return here for White. It'll be a touchback. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. I kind of feel like they've an impressive comeback. It has to start. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And now, oh boy, this is a bit of a surprise, to be kind. They accepted the holding penalty, so wipe out the interception, and their defense will stay on the field. Okay. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. That's complete. It's Okuwebunam. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. And they won't be able to run another play. Time has expired on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 89 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
To throw is Wilson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Sutton. Touchdown!
Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. So, Charles, the bad taste from that opening week loss, that's just a memory now. This has been a very strong performance as they score once again.
Yeah, I know it's only week 2, but you're exactly right because this team felt like they let one get away in the opener. And not only were they determined to not let the same thing happen here, they knew that they had to correct a bunch of things. So everything that went wrong in game 1, they took care of business with it in game 2.
McManus's point after is good, and that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. So the hold on special teams backs him up all the way inside the 15 to start. They'll look to throw now on first down. The open man here, Renfro. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
And his throw is incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Remember, that was 4th and a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and 4th and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's at 6 inches, you just fall forward and you pick it up, right? You just go quarterback sneak. But having to move bodies, that means you actually have to execute because they know what you're going to do. How are you going to make the right play call and get everyone into the right spot and win at the line of scrimmage? That's what they did there.
Give them 12 yards that time and a Las Vegas first.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Caden Stearns. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's the guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
After the interception, here's Wilson. And he will find his man Sutton. That's complete. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. Here's a give up the middle. It's Gordon. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence? And they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
They'll keep it on the ground. This time it's Gordon. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Things are rocking easy here in the fourth quarter. They've got to feel pretty good about this one. Actually, they've got to feel excellent. Tough loss in the opener. No way they wanted to go 0-2.
I don't want to read too much into it, but psychologically, is there something much bigger about 0-2 than 0-1?
Oh, without a doubt, and here's the biggest one. Guys like you and me, all the media, are going to talk about, well, you know how hard it is to make the playoffs when you start 0-2, and that starts to work its way through a team.
And now they're working towards 1-1. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about it.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
Now Wilson on first down. He finds the speedster Ross. That's complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Running right. It's a handoff to Gordon. And he'll get what he can up the middle. 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
106 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Another tote for Gordon. He's been busy this afternoon. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out. What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so?
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So he's had a nose for the end zone here in the early part of this season. 2 touchdowns for him now in this one to go along with the one he had in the opener as well.
Yeah, he certainly finds where the goal line is and finds a way to get across it. But you know who else senses it? The guys that block for him. Because he has that instinct, I think they hold their blocks just a little bit longer.
And the hands team for the Raiders able to secure it. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when the coaches...
And I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. You can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Well, this game, it was well in hand early, never really in doubt. Charles, you and I do so many games together. There's so much parity in the NFL, a lot of close battles. This was not one. Tip your cap to them for a really impressive effort.
Yeah, and you know, as the game went on, I think the defense kind of got together and said, we see our guys on offense, they're just putting up point after point. We need to leave our mark somehow, too, and they did it, pitching a second-half shutout.
So for the Broncos, they did what they needed to do. They split their first 2 road games of the year. And they'll have another road date next week with the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for Las Vegas, they'll drop to 0-2. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.